All right, thanks, Ainsley. 24 minutes after the hour. President Trump back in the White House and ready to talk tax reform with senators, tweeting this. Back in D.C., big week for tax cuts and many other things of great importance to our country. Senate Republicans will hopefully come through for all of us. The tax cut bill is getting better and better, and the end result will be great for all. One of the senators meeting with the president this week is Oklahoma Republican Senator James Lankford. Senator, welcome back.
Glad to be back with you, Brian.
Senator, I know the House passed and you guys got your version through committee. As early as Thursday, there'll be an overall vote. If the vote was today, would Senator Lankford be a yes?
Yeah, we're still working through all the final aspects of it, Brian, but I can't imagine we're not going to support this at the end as a whole and as the Senate. I'm still working on some specific parts of it, what I call a debt backstop to be able to make sure that that's in place and other aspects of it. But this will get done. We have got to get this done for the nation. You know,
the whole thing is I've heard you, Senator Corker, Senator Flake, and Senator Murkowski say they want to get, and even Senator Collins said they want to get to a yes. I have not heard that from Rand Paul and John McCain. What can you tell us on that?
Actually, you have to talk to Rand and John about that. I don't know where they are on that, but I would tell you that as we've gone through the process, everybody, and includes everybody, is trying to figure out a way to be able to actually make this the best possible document. This affects everybody in America, so it should be right. It's not something that should be rushed, but it should be done. So we'll hopefully be able to get that through. So your biggest obstacle for you right now, Senator Lankford, is the actual debt backstop. I want to make sure that we have a built-in process to be able to, if the numbers don't come in correctly, to make sure that we do actually provide a way to be able to guard us against debt and deficit. That's currently not in there. There's a lot of conversation about how it would work. We're trying to be able to get that in there and to get the language right. I imagine it's going to come somehow down to spending at some point, and that might be for a different day. So you believe it will pass before Christmas? I do, actually, and I think it should. And there'll be a vote Thursday? We'll see if there's a vote Thursday. They're trying to work with a parliamentarian right now to be able to work out exact language. That sometimes takes an extra day to be able to work that through. So Thursday, Friday, at worst case scenario, pushes over to early next week. But that's not delaying the process. That's just part of the process. All right, let's talk spending now. You know, every year there's an annual government waste list out. And some things that really stood out for you that you're putting out today that you want everyone's attention on, where we could save money. For example, Doggy Hamlet. Can we take a look at this? And how much did it cost us? This is $30,000 worth of NEA grants. It's a production in New Hampshire. Again, I have no problem with them performing Doggy Hamlet in New Hampshire, but I don't understand why the people of Connecticut are forced with their federal tax dollars to pay for the production that's in New Hampshire. I certainly don't want the people of Oklahoma to be able to pay for that. This is $30,000. It's a small example. We have examples like that. We go all the way up to $458 billion in what's called the tax gap with the IRS. And so we've got every variety from very small to very, very large areas of waste and areas where the federal government just dropped the ball, didn't complete their job. Also, something that really aggravates you is the IRS rehired over 1,000 people they fired for their bad conduct since 2010. What is that about? Yeah, these are individuals that were not only fired because they were mishandling information. There's some famous examples of all that, but there's also examples of individuals working for the IRS that don't actually pay their federal taxes. So they had been fired. Then the IRS turns around and rehires them. This was an issue that we brought up several years ago. They said they cleaned it up just as recently as this year. Again, we found another 200 employees that the IRS had fired that then turned around and rehired again. And again, we shouldn't have to do that. That's just a fumble. Right. It's a fumble, but there's lack of oversight, so you notice it. I'm wondering if you can go back and fix it. Next, the Defense Department can't track $1 billion of equipment in Iraq in a time in which the defense is being squeezed. Man, I'd love to find that $1 billion worth of equipment. How do you go about that? How does that happen? So these are Humvees, these are small arms, these are mortars, these are products that we were giving to the Iraqi military for them to be able to defend their own country. They were transferred into Kuwait to be able to transfer the Iraqi military. We know they got to Kuwait. We don't know what happened from there. $1 billion worth of equipment. We hope it got into the right hands, but DOD didn't actually track it. They don't actually know. Senator Lankford, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and now it's going to be a sprint to Christmas, and hopefully you'll get a lot done before you're done. Senator, thanks so much. You bet. Thanks, guys.